Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I know it wasn't announced, it was kind of last minute. I'm currently at my job in New Mexico, and it's been kicking my butt recently, so I haven't had a chance to do a whole lot. I'm a little behind, actually, I'm a lot behind in my editing for my next video. Um, but I thought I'd share this time with you and do a live, and maybe some people come in and we'll have a great time together. And I brought on board uh, one of my buddies, Long Live Coins, who must be looking up in the air for one of his relatives who's trying to find another bee. He wants to pollinate the other bee. Don't tell his wife.
What's going on, Tiger?
Oh, not much. Long lived. Just grateful to not be working right now.
Yeah.
This whole week after finishing a shift, I'd come into the hotel room thinking, okay, I don't feel good because I'm exhausted. And I was getting sleep, but I still was exhausted. I'd lay down thinking, I'll just lay down for a half an hour or so, get up, start editing. Next thing you know, the alarm clock's going off. It's time to go to work again.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Not fun getting older. So I want to say hello to Joseph Lopez, Sean's Precious Metals. One of these days, Sean's going to let me have a live with him one day because he's the dude's funny and he's smart, just like you. You're funny and smart, especially when you're looking for your relative floating in the air somewhere.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be a problem here. They keep flying by, so I'm gonna have to keep looking up.
That reminds me of the the storyline where I forget if it was the person can control the bees or was it flies? Maybe it was wasps. But that person could send all those little insects off to go get someone.
Yeah.
I got you, Sean. I'm totally okay with that. I know you're a busy fella, but I do enjoy when I get to catch you on live with someone else. Sean? Do you put out your own content, or you just kind of hang out on lives? Because I only catch you on lives. So, just let me know. So, we got an interesting show for you.
Yeah, I've actually had Sean on my channel before.
See, he doesn't like tigers.
I bet he'd come up with you if you give him a shout. He's pretty good.
I'd
Good
like.
guy about talking on metals anyway. I think he enjoys it. So I don't know how busy he is, but you could give him
Yeah,
a quick ask anyway.
Sean. Because your name is Sean's Precious Bullion, does that mean you own your own store, or is that just a name you chose? Okay, he says he needs to get busy again on videos and lives.
Yeah.
Good, good. Me too. I this job has really kicked my butt. Hello, Metal Matt. Welcome. So, I want to point out to all of you that if you can, please feel free to hit the like button if you already haven't, and it would help the channel. I don't get to do as many lives as I've been wanting to, and I'm trying to catch up with videos. I've recorded about six in the back room, and I needed to get a little bit freedom from exhaustion to put them out. But I think you'll like them. So I hope you go and see them. Now, also, I'd like you to, if you haven't gone to see Long Live Coins, he's got a really good channel. He's kind of fun to watch. Hey, Sorcerer Stan, welcome.
Good to
Uh,
see you, Sir Stan.
so he just did another conversation with, is it Adam Burke? I always get the first name mixed up.
Aaron.
Aaron Burke.
Yep.
I did pretty good.
You were pretty close. Yes, that's close.
And I was in there just trying to be silly and teasing, but if you got any ancient coins from Serbia or from Ukraine? He's got stuff that existed before those countries existed. I
Yep.
was a little shocked.
Yep. Yep. Nope. Yeah, that whole area is where most ancient comes. A little bit, I would say, east of there is even more of a hot area, but that whole area is kind of where civilization kicked off. Kind of, I mean,
Oh yeah.
so
So I really like that. Uh, maybe I could do a live stream where he's talking about coins from Eastern Europe. What do you think? Do you think he would come on for a discussion like that?
I don't know. You could ask. He may. He's a busy guy, though. I know that.
Well, that I can understand. You know, but he's really smart, and he enjoyed the fun I was throwing out. So I
Yeah.
kind of maybe I could learn something. And I wouldn't mind having some coins from my wife's and my ancient heritage.
Sure, sure, yeah. I don't know who would have been there at that time, but yeah, there I can imagine there being some coins from that area. Because it's like I say, it's not too far off from some of the main, the Greeks and the Romans and the all those big groups right there. So
Oh yeah, after the Roman and then the Holy Roman Empire broke down, um, it coins started taking on their own meaning in a lot of different other countries. But I would like to, get a few things from my ethnic heritage.
yeah,
Uh, I got some more modern coins from the ethnic heritage. I got some older clad and silver, and even a few gold from older Russia and Soviet Union. Not a whole lot, but some.
yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I
and
know we battled over a couple silver coins. I got one coin that I that
yeah,
I
you,
that you wanted, so
well, you kicked my butt. I mean, our friendship started off with a rivalry over auctions.
for sure.
And my favorite story about how LLC and I um, closer was that we were auctioning. We were in an auction on T the Silver Stacker, and he had some very rare mintage coins, B.R. McKay and Sons silver that has a really bad history about death that happened because of cyanide poisoning. Because those coins or those bars were from X-ray uh, X-ray films and reconstituted off there, and somehow they used cyanide as a solvent to get this film off, and it ended up in a lot of people getting sick and one person dying. So those bars has a fantastic but dark history, and uh, T the Silver Stack was auctioning them off on a relatively frequent basis, and I wanted enough of those bars to create a pyramid in my studio, and I was not going to let anyone win. So I kept throwing in insurance, and this little devil over here, he threw a bid just underneath my top bid to make me buy it at the highest price I auctioned or bid on.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how it looked to you, but to be honest, you were bidding so fast. So what was happening he had insurance bids. So if Tiger he just started bidding up, and he was like let's say the bar started at $150, and I went to 200, and Tiger went to 250, and then I went to 275, and then Tiger just starts typing 300, 354. Before I was even typing a counter offer, he just starts raising himself by $50. He's up to like 500 and still typing. So I typed in 6, and then he's like 7, and then they said sold, and then so it's funny. So you had to actually pay the bid, but
Yeah, and I did. But I'm sitting there. That son of a gun.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was rolling laughing by the time it was over. Just it was so funny. But then I felt the next day I was thinking about it and I got to feeling bad and I was like, I should call him and make sure he's okay with paying that price. And I told him I would pay it if he didn't want to, but he wanted it anyway. So that's how we actually got to talking and became friends. So
yeah, and you made mention in one of your videos that I heard, how hard it was to bid if I was in there bidding. You could hear the frustration. I'm like, this guy can make a really good friend if I show him that I really were friends. I enjoy the bidding. I enjoy the bidding wars.
yeah,
I really like sniping.
yeah.
So, but basically, um, I think it started when I sent you channel rounds. I sent you channel rounds for just because.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we started just becoming friends through the bidding wars and the talks and the swag sent back and forth. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that. Hey Nickel, I'm not saying that long, ridiculous name. You're Nickel. You're nickel stacking. You're always going to be nickel stacking, and you're always going to look like Yukon Cornelius. I don't care what you put your avatar.
Right.
Hey Metal Matt, welcome. So we have a topic we want to cover for you on verification of the metals that you buy, and especially the new ones that get involved with our channels, they're going to learn that it's caveat emptor, buyer beware, and basically I went ahead and got all sorts of verification stuff because I don't enjoy being taken advantage of. None of us do. So, but I learned about other things. Probably the most expensive verification I've got is a Sigma Metalytics Pro, and it has the little wands. And one of these days, I'm actually going to buy the last attachment, which is what they call the bridge, to go through bigger pieces of metal to verify that they're real. But that's the topic, and what Long Live Coins is going to do. He's going to introduce the topic of
dual magnet slide.
Yeah, I was having a little trouble with that because I'm trying to set up a presentation screen.
Yeah, it's hard to do 4 things at a time sometimes.
Yeah, that's the truth. So mine is going to be about the cheapest test you can have. Whoops. Let me get that back over here. Is the specific gravity test, where you take the weight of your item and weigh it dry, and then suspend it in water, and then use the simple math to go ahead and verify what you got. A lot of people tell me constantly, "Hey, Knox Stacks, welcome. Great Scott, welcome." But I worked really hard on trying to make a system that is going to be, there for everyone. So I'm going to let Longwood talk about his while I set up to show you what I had made for all of you for specific gravity and make it easier on all of you. So you have the floor.
Okay, cool. Yeah, put all the pressure on me to do 4 things at one time now. Sure.
Yeah, brother.
Okay, so yeah, just some basics about gold and silver and all your precious metals. I really like these new Spanish mint coins. They have a beautiful kind of reverse proof in gold
They do.
going on. And the links, the first one of the run, it was quite pretty and nice. Very beautiful coin. But when you're just starting out, even more so than me, um,
Hey, Space Miner.
thing in
Believe it or not, I'm working in New Mexico right now, so we might be neighbors.
yeah, you guys should meet up. There you go. So yeah, you get into just getting into the metals, and you don't know how the metals are, what to tell is real, what's not real, because you are not used to the metal. You're not used to seeing it. You haven't held it. You haven't looked at it. Handled it. Got to feel and look. And even I was hearing somebody else talk about it. The look, feel, and smell. And yeah, I'm not sure if I know the smell so much, but you definitely get a feel for handling them. Their weights, their looks, their values. And one thing that helped me a lot with that was this dual magnetic slide, and those are what kind of magnet's a strong magnet? It's a neodymium.
Yes.
Neodymium magnet. And so there's underneath this cloth, there's a whole bunch of bars that span, each row here. Instead of just having one row, if you have two, I think it really goes the extra mile, and it actually makes the test so much more valuable and worthwhile. I see a lot of people who talk about, we'll get a magnetic slide, but it'll just be one lane. And when you just have one slide, you can talk about, oh yeah, gold is, not magnetic, and it's a little bit sluggish, but you can say the same thing about silver, like, well, silver is sluggish as well.
You're locking up on us.
Say what?
You were locking up on us. Every time you put a coin close to the slide, you froze on us.
Really?
Maybe that magnet is a little. You give it credit for it.
Maybe.
And try it again. Let's see if you're locked on us already.
Wow.
Go ahead and do it again.
Okay, it's interesting because I'm not locking up over here that I see. I look to be flowing smoothly on my screen. Great Scott says not locking for him.
Frosty.
Frostbite, welcome in. It's your connection, Tiger. It's fine everywhere else. So,
hey, Frosty. He says it's my connection.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. So yeah, so you get to know your metals, and if
what do you expect for a hotel internet?
What really helps is if you have that secondary slide there. So if you have two slides, you can put your coins. Let me get my tool, my little wooden tool. So you bring your coins up and you get them even. And when you release them, they should slide pretty close to the same. As you can see there, those are dead heat on the same, they're the same coin, and they should flow the same or very close to it. And so, since these are identical coins and I have the identical sides up, they just go together. It's dead heat, and that, so you can automatically know from there. If you have one good coin, you can test any of your other coins and you'll know that you're dealing with legit silver. And if you take, for example, let's see, let's take a silver and a, this one was what I thought was interesting. So this one over here on the right is a 925 coin sterling. And by the way, Tiger, this is actually a Russian coin.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to get a better look there. But anyway, so it's 925 sterling, and then over here we have a 3/9 fine silver, and you'll be able to see that the 925 just runs away from the silver. So even that little bit of variance from the pure silver, you know, just to 92.5 sterling is a big difference. And so, you know, you can run your metals like that and get to know them a little bit better, and it gives you a feel for what to look for. And again, the nice thing about this dual slide is that, you know, you might have to say, oh, if you get your single slide at a certain angle, it should take X amount of time to traverse the slide, and you can over. But this way, if you have the dual slide, it can be at a steeper angle, at a lesser angle, and you're still going to get the same effect because you have that variable to test against. So they're sliding together no matter what the angle is. So I really think
it's kind of like looking for silver races. Now we need about 5 of them so we can have 10 coins in a race and people can bet on it.
Right. Everybody can send in their coin and see if it's real or not and put bets on it.
Yeah, that.
So yeah, Supreme Ginger Stacker, good to see you. Barbara Wall, good to see you. Great,
Hi,
Scott.
Barbara Wall, I haven't seen you in the space for a long time. I missed you, lady.
So let's take a piece of gold and check it against silver.
I'm betting on the silver. Hey, John Camper.
Gold runs away with it. It's actually, silver is a bit more magnetic. I guess they're called paramagnetic, I think, if I'm getting it right.
It's diamagnetic.
Okay, whatever the scientific term is, they're a little bit magnetic, but they won't stick. So that's kind of what you're getting used to with the metal here. You're figuring out how the metal reacts to the neodymium magnet. John Camper, good to see you. Welcome in. And so yeah, the gold just runs away a little bit faster there. Let's try the thing is though. And I'll do coppers together and show you that. But you do need to know a few things about this, and that's where Tiger's method will come into play, and your calipers and measurements and weights. And there's a few different things you can do. But if you have a double magnetic slide, you can really accomplish quite a bit. And you're learning about the metal. You're getting a feel for it. You're starting to understand it. So I don't know. I found it was fun for me and interesting for me and helped me learn about the metal. So, you know, now those are both copper and they're a little bit different design. So you might get a bit of a different lead. And that's the other thing. If one's a bit faster, you can, you know, flip lanes and make sure it's not, you know, the material not stretched out well or something.
I kind of think another component that might interfere with that is how thick the capsule is.
Indeed,
keeping the metal away from the actual magnet. The further away, it has more of a chance to go down fast.
Yes. Yes. So now this one is really interesting. This is 2 vintage silver Engelhard bars here, and they give a very good show of the dual slide. They're lockstep with each other as well. So as you can see, you can get a really good idea of, you know, that okay, those are, if you know that one's real, you can tell okay, the other one is legit as well. And you can do this all the way down. I had some pennies, so I got a couple modern zinc pennies and one copper. And I thought, I wonder if those react differently. And sure enough, they're pretty obvious. So here we have a 2009, it looks like. And here we have a 1979. So one is copper and one is mostly zinc. So which one you think is going to win on this, the zinc or the copper?
I think the zinc will go faster.
Indeed, Tiger is right. The zinc flies much faster. And so then that copper was the slow, and I'll put a couple zincs up just to show that the zincs will travel at the same speed. And they're in lockstep. So, you know, it's actually pretty accurate in that way. And of course, you can do the same thing with your silver 90% to make sure that they, you know, slide in lockstep. And I've done those, and they do. So the one other I'll show right quick before I turn it over to you, Tiger, is platinum. And I got a couple 10th ounce platinum pieces here. And these are not at all magnetic. I can't even get my my tool out of the way fast enough, and they fall down. There is no magnetism to those whatsoever. So
That's a great way that if you're dealing with someone that, oh no, that's not platinum, that's silver. You could use that as proof that they don't know.
For sure. See, exactly. The one thing that you do need to know, I guess I'll show you one more thing, is that silver is quite close to copper. But again, once you learn these things, you know, you can figure out the metals. And 925 is not close to copper, and 925 is not close to pure silver. But pure silver and pure copper are pretty close. So you got to be aware of that, you know, you know, if you know these things, then these other tests we'll talk about will eliminate the rest of the threat of there being a copper silver coin through the measurements and the weights and then we'll even talk about Tiger's method. But the copper, as you can see there, the copper and the silver are pretty close. But okay, with that, I'll turn it over to you, Tiger.
Okay. Well, on a couple videos, I got my hands on a product that wasn't really sure about. One of which was the first one was a pre-33 that really read weird. The through test on the Sigma Metalytic says it was what it should be. The surface said it wasn't. Now, if you're going to have a fake coin or bar, you're going to actually see the opposite. The surface should read and the through should not. It's not normal to have the through correct and the surface wrong. So I weighed it and I did all sorts of other things to it and the calipers and all that. And then I decided to use the specific gravity test and I made a video out of it. And a lot of people said that they don't understand the math, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, like I said before, I get it. I'm not an attorney. When my attorney talks to me about attorney things, they have to tell me what the heck they're talking about because I don't know everything from legalese. So I don't expect everyone to be a wonderful mathematician. But, you know, what I ended up doing, and I'll show you here in just a second, I ended up
bring yourself back up onto I think you got me up on solo right now.
Yeah, because you're cuter than I am.
Yeah.
So all joking aside, I made two items and I'll show them to you here. Here we go. Share the screen. Come on. Share the screen.
Great, Scott. Yes, 90% versus 40%. You would definitely see a difference there. And I will come up with that example to show you. That is one thing that I didn't bring out here that I could have brought out that I will do next time.
Now, this right here is the computerized version of the spreadsheet. And really, you only have to put in the numbers. The formula is already in there. And if you have a little bit of a mindset of what normal is in comparison, as long as the numbers come close, because it's not exact because you're using a thread and the water, and sometimes the autumn will spin. So you get some other things in it. But the thing is that there are ways to double check the double check, and I have this all set up in this uh, uh, spreadsheet from Excel, which I have made available. Uh, I have made available to all of you. All you need to do is to get one of these spreadsheets or both. Is just send me an email. I'll send it to you free of charge. My recommendation is do not use this immediately. Leave it saved in your computer. Go in there, change its name so you actually get two versions of it. One will be your working version. And if you screw it up, don't try to fix the formula. Just get rid of what you screwed up. Go back, go to this one, make a new name for it so you have two again, and use this one as your backup. Frosty has been kind enough to offer to help take my spreadsheet to a new level. Uh, so basically, he was thinking, there's a way to, like, for lack of a better way of saying it, put a red, yellow, or green box to light up if it matches or not. Now, I'm learning how to do spreadsheets. When I first started stacking, I did everything by hand. I spent all night doing it all by hand, and then my wife's like, you need to get some rest. So I'm going to teach you Excel. So so I've been doing my spreadsheets on Excel ever since. This is another Excel breakdown just for specific measurements. Letter A is what was the weight when it was new in ounces, grams, and grains, and what is the weight now? And if once you put it in water, suspended in water, the displaced weight. Okay. And the only reason to have when it was new is if you want to see how much weight you lost, which would come down here into E. I rarely put in information into A because I just want to verify it is what it is, because old stuff you're going to lose some weight anyway, so then you can't change it. But some people want to know that.
Yeah.
And I did that on my very first coin, which was the pre-33 gold. So you'll always end up putting in the weight now. You always put in the displaced weight, and then you will get a difference. No, that's for A and B. Now, the way I set it up is if you're going to look at the the handwritten version of it, it's like doing your taxes. Just follow the instructions, and you put in your weight, your displaced weight, and in this case it'd be the difference if you're trying to figure out how much weight you lost in the percentage. But
Right.
if you're just doing specific gravity, you just need to put in B and C. Okay. Now that B and C will come down here, and that will give you the specific gravity that is measured. Okay. So you've weighed your dry coin or bar, and then you did the displaced weight, and it will come down here and do the math for you. B divided by C, and you'll get your specific gravity. But if it's a mixture, how do you do a mixture? Well, the only thing the specific gravity is good for is to verify an item if you know the components of it, which metals are in it, what percentages, because then you'd put in the specific gravity, which you can get off the internet if you want, and the percent that's in your particular item, It'll then give you this partial specific gravity, which you add up, and then you get your answers down here. And B and C would give you your answer down here, and then you get to compare. And there's ways to double check if it gets wonky also, but I'll leave that for another time whenever I can teach people more. I'm more interested in getting these spreadsheets out so that you all can have at it. Now, if you hate computers, the handwritten one is good for you, and I'd say don't mess with it. Save it, print it on paper, and have at it with yourself. If you are a computer person, you can go for this one, and you go ahead and put in B and C. It would do the math down here in ounces, grams, or grains, and you put in your specific gravity, the percentage of your item. That would give you, let's say that you have 50% gold, and here would be specific gravity at 50%. 30% copper, you put in your copper specific gravity, 30%, and it would give you the specific gravity. And it would add them up for this down here, and then you can compare the specific gravity of the weighed part versus what it should be just based upon the mathematics of the components of it, and you can compare that. And you can also double check that things are wonky by taking the instructions. If you're doing paper, it takes B, which is the weight now, divided by F, which is the specific gravity for the item. And then, you can compare if at the end it's giving you the displaced weight to see if it's going to match, which would be letter C. So that would give you a backed up verification, and you can compare those answers to letter C, which is the displaced weight. Now, that's one of the reasons why Frosty has offered to somehow turn my spreadsheet into a traffic light, if you will. Red if it's seriously wrong, green if it's seriously right, and yellow for somewhere in the middle. But basically, what needs to be done is you need to understand that 1 cubic centimeter of water is equal to 1 gram. And if you put that specific that item into, oh, for crying out loud, I don't need a commercial. If you put that item into water, let's say this is just a cube of ice, which is water, it will add and become, added weight on there. And if you're dealing with a coin that is not so dense, there's less displacement, therefore you weigh less on the scale. By the way, you should zero this out before you put the item in the water. And if you have something that's more dense, then you would get more displaced weight. So that's how you get your raw data. The item dry weight, the item displaced weight, and then you'd use that formula, which is in the spreadsheets that I made for you. But this is just another example of how that works. And I'm not trying to tell you, that I'm smarter than you. No, this is just something I love. I always love science, and I always love math. But the specific gravity test works very well if you know the items. When you don't know the items and the percentages, the only thing you can tell is it what it says it is, or is it not? And if it's not, you need more information before the specific gravity can tell you anything. And the way that works is, if you got a pure item, you don't need to know the percentages because it's all 100%. If you go ahead and know the percentages, for instance, the American Gold Eagle has 91.67% gold, 5.33% copper, 3% silver. By the way, all this stuff is from a video I made called Cheap Test Made Easy. I didn't get a lot of views on it, but it's there for anyone who wants to bone up on how to have a really good and cheap test. All you need is water, preferably distilled water, and a scale, preferably one that is of jewelry grade if you're going to deal small coins. I found that out because I can't get displaced weight from a 1/10 ounce coin. So, I had to go to the full ounces because my scale doesn't measure that small of an item. And then you just follow what's on in the spreadsheets, whether you're using the handwritten one or you're using the electronic one. But this is a really good way to help someone verify that you're getting exactly what you paid for, or you're not. And you have to keep in mind some things are a little peculiar. I got a pre 33, was, I don't know, it's back when gold was at 90% gold. It was, believe it or not, 89% gold. And the specific gravity test came out wonky, and the backup math was also wonky. So I ended up just Googling that year's gold, and turned out it was 89%. I changed the numbers in the formula, and the wonkiness went away.
I can imagine.
So,
Okay, can I throw out a couple things here?
of course you can.
Cool. So yes, and there might be some stuff that like I see Space Miner there's talking about if you use a certain type of deuterium oxide D20, it would throw that test off when it could be, but like if you go through the dual magnetic slide, you're eliminating a lot of possibilities. Then if you do like this method, which is another little handy dandy thing that I can make out of any exotic wood that you would like, whatever color, let me know. Send me an email, longlivecoins@gmail.com, and I can hook you up. But
Does it come in stripes?
this is just a coin pinger, and this is another way to test your metals as well. You just put it in there to hold it. You can put it on your finger. This is just a way to hold your coin while you hit it. But you can get an app now on your phone and hold this close to your phone and select the coin that you have, enter it in your app, and give it a whack, and it will tell you whether it's legit or not. So between that method and the water displacement method, then there's also you can just run a single magnet like this and have your metal just above your coin, and have that on a swivel, and you'll learn that that it kind of grabs it just a little bit. But again, you can run your magnet test that same way with just one single magnet by doing something like that, getting it stationary, not hold it, but put it on something stationary, and then swing that back over the top, and you'll get that. Say it'll go from swinging loosely to grab it a little bit. And so that's another way to check it. And then another way, of course, is with your calipers, right? So you just get yourself a pair of calipers like that, and
fancy.
yeah, and then you can check and see what exactly your width is on a coin, and it'll tell you exactly what the width is. And then you can go online and see what the width of a true real coin would be, and also the depth, so you can measure the width and the depth. And that's another way. And then throw it on your scale, and between all of those methods, you can pretty much hammer out whether you have a legit piece or not. And of course, then you have a Sigma Metalytics as well.
Yeah.
But between all of those testing methods, you're going to eliminate most everything that's a problem.
Yeah. One of these days I'm going to actually get myself an XRF gun. I'm just waiting for Frosty to buy it for me for Christmas.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
But the XRF, as far as I'm concerned, is probably the gold standard. Sigma Metalytics is probably be like the silver standard.
Do you know what the XRF's problem is?
I don't know.
It can only read like a tiny, I don't know, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like a millimeter thick or something. It's not very thick into the bar. So it can only test kind of the outside. So that's a problem with that particular test. But it can tell you everything that's in that outside, and they're pretty sweet, I must admit. But that's kind of their downfall.
Hold on a second here.
Goodness, man, you don't have to beat your computer up.
You just got good ears. Either that or your hearing aids have brand new batteries. Barbara also is they're expensive. It said, I know, Barbara, that's why Frosty's going to give me an awesome Christmas gift.
Right?
Fakes are no bueno. So, but no, honestly, I have had the most fun determining if something is fake or not. And there goes Nickel stacking. He's always starting trouble. I swear to God, if he's not causing trouble, he's going to need oxygen if he ever quit spreading rumors. So, and I swear to God, I am going to tell his mother. So, but no, all joking aside, I've had some of the best fun with things that seemed really wonky, whether it was that pre-33 with the bad surface, which I think was because maybe it was cleaned and polished and didn't allow the surface to read correctly, whether it was the pre-33 that was 89% gold, and I had to find that out and then redo the math, which was fun. Whether or not I bought, can you believe this, older Britannias? They are not 3 or 4 nines fine, not until I think 2013. So when I'm putting it through the Sigma Metalytics, it's reading totally wonky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a reason for it. They use something called Britannia silver, which is, if I remember correctly, 95.8% silver. And the Metalytics isn't set up for Britannia silver, to my knowledge. I'll have to double check to see if I'm correct. But so knowing that, I put Britannia silver coin through the specific gravity, and it played out correctly, which is one of the reasons I really love the specific gravity test, because, for lack of a better way of saying it, it's a cheap man's XRF machine. Now, let me see here. Someone made something about. Hold on. Frosty says it's mostly a planchet issue. We talked about that and everything else tested, right? Yeah, we did. Let's see here. I remember some. Oh yeah, here we go. Any updates on the sense production? Okay, that's a question for Frosty. Space Miner 92.5. That's sterling silver. Britannia silver was only made in England. I don't think they make it anymore. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's not 95.8% silver. So, but when you weigh out the silver Britannias, they're a little bit more weight. You're still getting a full ounce of silver, but you're getting a little extra because they want you to have the full ounce of silver. But there's other end, and I think that's copper also. You know. Oh, okay. Frosty's letting us know that he's going to be doing a sense on June 4th and 5th. Okay, so
He's going to try to make sense on the 4th and 5th.
yeah, I think Frosty is so intelligent he needs to get more sense, and it doesn't come to him until the 4th and the 5th. Actually, he is one of the smartest guys I know, but don't tell him I said that. It'll go to his head. There won't be enough room in this house for him and his family. So,
No doubt. No doubt.
um, with you showing off the lynxes, um, I ended up getting 1 ounce of the Spanish silver and 10 of the 1/10 ounces. Um, and uh, I did that for the lynx. I did that for the bull. And I only got a little bit of the 10th ounces for the stallion. With the price of gold going up, um, I'm my stacking strategy has seriously changed because I'm not sure if these fun collectible golds are going to retain their value. So I really want to go for constitutional gold, but I toyed the idea if I'm going to hold on to the Spanish gold. It is really really pretty,
I would
and they
hold
make
on.
it make it.
These new Spanish coins, dude, they're gonna carry their weight for a while. I bet. I would make that. I am anyway. I'm holding them. But and I am looking for this fourth one of the 10. I have the 10th ounce as well, but I don't have the eagle, and it's out now, and I don't know. I haven't been able to find it. But
Oh, is that the fourth one?
yeah, the fourth one's an eagle.
Well, I can understand that. You know, I'm I'm hitting more silver because I think that there's going with that gold to silver ratio, silver's undervalued, and there's a chance for it to shoot the moon. Maybe it'll stay suppressed forever. But honestly, I think with the increasing demand for it on a industrial level, especially with the new upcoming EV cars with improved batteries, which is going to increase the amount of silver. If I remember correctly, it's about a kilo of silver per one EV car battery for the new ones that are coming out starting next year. They're going to exceed the silver production per year. So a lot of things are going to happen,
They're
in my
going
opinion.
to. They already. This is like the 5th year that they've
I know
had a
come
deficit.
up with a brand new battery that they're, as I
Right.
understand it, they're
Yeah.
they're going to be released in the new cars on 2026. So
Okay. Okay.
so so according to the math, it looks like they're going to exceed the silver production. So I think a few things are going to happen. They're going to try to get more mining going on for silver, and there aren't that many pure silver mines. That's more of a byproduct of other things. But they're going to be pushing more and more for more silver, which is going to
Yeah.
fit right in there with Donald Trump's drill baby drill. Um, and that's one of the reasons why when I saw that he was going to win the election, I I bought a little bit more stock in gold mining, and I bought my very first silver mine stock. I didn't put a whole lot in it. Um, that's what they're saying, nickel. But they're just going to go find it. Sorry, they're just going to go find it somewhere else. And if they can't get it in Mexico, they're going to go to Canada. Allegedly, there's a huge silver mine up in I think it's in Alaska, and the I bought enough of the mining stock and the royalty stock enough that if I lose my shirt, it doesn't hurt that bad because I didn't put that much in it. But if it does shoot the moon, then my portfolio will do a whole lot better. Uh, I believe that too, Doug, but I don't think they can do it forever. When the laws of supply and demand take over, they can't suppress it anymore because it will be so obvious. Just like the election that we just had, the stuff that was being done by the left was so obviously blatantly wrong that we had pretty much a landslide on the presidential candidate. I think the same thing is going to happen with silver, with the increased demand and not being able to keep up. When you got supply and demand really going hard, uh, then the prices will increase. The only
Yeah.
thing that might keep it down is if big guys like Elon Musk buys his own silver mine, has it mined directly for his other businesses, and then they can continue to suppress it because the billionaires can buy it outright straight out of the ground and have it refined for their purposes. Outside of that, I think that silver will climb and do an exceptional job. But it's
Yeah,
going to take.
it's in my and everybody has their own opinion, but yeah, it's coming to a point where it's going to be impossible for them to hold it down. And the more they're holding it down, and it's quite obvious that they're holding it down. And we're, like I say, we're at a 5-year deficit already, 200 million ounces a year for 5 years. And as that eats into the stockpiles and they don't raise the price on it, that causes no new mines to be opened. And while that price is kept down and no new mines are open, that just remains that it, is just a byproduct of the bigger copper and gold mines out there and other, metals mining. And so it's just a byproduct. There's very few besides First Majestic that are actually mining pure silver. And that's why First Majestic is excited about being a silver pure company, is because when this thing happens, and people realize, like, because right now, like you say, we're already in a deficit, and those industries eating up over 60% of the supply by themselves. And as it gets used in more and more technology, there's no they can't just turn up the production of some silver mines because it's a byproduct, and it would have to raise a whole bunch in value before you're going to get silver mines to open back up. And then even if you do, like they say in the mining industry, it takes like 7 to 10 years to get a new mine up and going. So by not letting it rise and by holding it down, they're making it really explosive. And like someone was saying in here, gold will be, I believe, yeah, Douglas as well was saying that gold will become unobtainium. And that, I think, is kind of their idea. I think that's what they want. And you're going
Yeah.
to come to a point where not only gold is unobtainium, silver is going to jump up there and match it right quick. And people will be like, oh, now it's way high. We'll wait for it to come back down. But it's just not going to be a thing.
No, no. To quote our mutual friend Lynette Zhang, the rising price of gold is an indication of a failing economy.
Bing, bing, bing. And
So,
gold is on a tear. And it's not from the public, and it's not from industry, it's from banks
yeah,
and countries, the big banks, the international banks. The very basis of the monetary system is buying it up like there's no tomorrow, because there kind of is no tomorrow on this. They got to get what they can to keep themselves in case things do go even more wonky than they are right now.
hi Douglas Brink, and I agree with you, a failing fiat currency. But honestly, this has happened from the very, very beginning. They 4,800 fiat currencies of some type failed over 6,000 years. Now, granted, back in the Roman Empire days, they didn't have paper. They had the metal, but they debased the metal, or they scraped off a little bit off the sides. That we're always trying to find a way to cut the corners, and then they started getting into the base metals, which had no intrinsic value. So, you know, our fiat currency is just uh, um, uh, uh, is just a reenactment of what was in the past, whether it was paper or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm grabbing a couple pieces of the debased monetary ancient metal like you're talking about. I happen to have a couple pieces. But yeah, this piece right here is a good example of that. So this is a, what do you call this thing? Yeah, I can never remember this. Antoninianus. Antoninianus. And
Okay.
and this is basically, let me get zoomed in here on. This is basically what you're talking about. This
Let me
is
bring you up. I'm
okay.
gonna bring you up, make you even bigger. Okay. Hold on. There you go.
Okay. So this is
Space Miner.
This is an ancient Roman coin. And as you can see, it's got this, it's actually in pretty good condition because it's got a lot of the silver left on it, and it's a good stamp. So it's actually a good example of the Antoninianus. But as you can see, that copper coming through the planchet. And so what they did was they stamped them in copper. They made the coin in copper, and then they would do what they call a silver wash, basically paint some silver onto it or dip it in silver, and then right when you'd hand it out and it was brand new, it looks like a pure silver coin.
Yeah.
But again, if you don't have like Tiger Stacker's water weight method to try back then, what do you call it again?
Specific gravity.
Specific gravity test. That if they were unaware of the specific gravity test, they would think that they had a good silver coin until, after a year or two, the rust starts to come through and you realize, oh, whoa, I got ripped off here. So, yeah, like, the people knew that the value was in the silver. So, that's, as they're trying to keep the people calm, and they didn't have the money because, it's just like our government now, spending too much cash, right? And so to appease the people and to pay their army and military, they had to stretch that silver out because they didn't have enough, and so of course they used the copper base, but it's all a mind trick that they're playing on the people. The same is going on today. At this time they had to actually coat their metal with real silver to make it look valuable, but now we're just printing up paper, and it's much easier, and it's even easier to keep the lie going, because the dollar is always looking the same, and unless you're watching what the Fed is doing and what they're printing, all you see is the prices of your groceries going up in the store, and you don't realize that it's not your grocery store being mean and raising prices and trying to get rich. They're making the same as they always make. It's the currency that's losing its value and not able to buy as much because they're just printing it out of thin air. There's no real value to it. So same thing, different era.
Well, that's one of the reasons why a lot of us, myself included, are completely freaked out about CBDCs.
Yes.
Hey, Silver Spurs, OC Stacker, welcome. OC, if you have touch with Surfer, tell him to pop on by. But honestly, we need to be fully cognizant of what they're going to do, and they want to get away with it uh, with this printing with the printing press. Now they don't even have to have a printing press, dude. All they have to do is have some monster computer and create digital money with a few keystrokes of a mega computer.
Yep.
And it comes back to the whole issue that you and I have learned, and a lot of our community has learned, that you if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
Yes.
So,
Indeed. Back to Lynette Zhang, right?
oh yeah, my very first YouTube teacher.
Yep.
You should have seen. I was so excited when I got a chance to interview her. And some of my stuttering got really pronounced. My God, I felt like I was talking to a Hollywood movie star. I really enjoy conversations with her. She does an amazing job. And when she offered to come on my channel, I had thought I had just won the state lottery and just had won myself $1 million. So,
Yeah. No, that I would have felt the same way. Fact, like we talked a bit about this, just I think a little before, or maybe it was after. Anyway, I went up to Vancouver, Canada, and watched Lynette Zhang walk off the stage and she was with JP Cortez. They were both on stage and being asked questions by, I believe it was Kitco. And when they walked off stage, somebody was busy with Lynette, so I didn't get a chance to talk with her. But I got JP Cortez on and did an interview with him. And he's kind of a new big guy in the metals. He's going around all the states and making states have gold and silver put back on the table as legal tender, and also taking the tax away from taxing the metals, which I should read through the little list of. They've been pretty successful. We got Kentucky, Wyoming, Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Louisiana, Ohio, and hopefully soon New Jersey and Nebraska looks like they'll go through too. All have removed their tax on gold and silver. So and he's been integral in doing that. So you got Lynette Zhang on, which is amazing. Like you say, I would love that as well. And I got JP Cortez, which is funny because here we are on platform together, and they were on the platform up there. And so I just think that's such a cool.
yeah, and I hope one day we're going to be in that same realm with the big boys, teaching everyone else and having their back and that whole thing.
Yep.
Because let's face it, we're not getting any younger. And I would give my right arm to decrease down to a 50% doctor and have more time at home to make videos, more time at home with the wife, more time at home to spend with the family. Hey, Pete Clark, how you doing? Oh, you got the round. Fantastic, Pete. I'm glad you got it.
OC Stacker, good to see you.
You like it? Yeah, OC is trying to buy a Lynx. I'm not sure if he's trying to buy yours or mine.
So. Oh. Well, it's twice.
Where are you at, Sean?
Sorry?
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I said, ain't that the truth? Sean's precious metals, or precious bullion, said that the governor is a joke. I don't know. Are you in California, or where are you, Sean? I don't know what part of the world you're in. So, no, I honestly feel that our I honestly feel that the Bitcoin and the other ones, but mainly Bitcoin, has been allowed to get out there to train the people how to deal with digital, get them used, and I watched a video with local silvermint has quite a number of weeks back where he proved, uh, oh, you're Maryland? Cool. You're not far from me when I'm home. Maybe we can hook up and go to a coin shop together. Um, but basically, it's just the whole concept of manipulating the public. And you know, we need to, uh, we need to have our place at the table. And if we don't, we're going to wish we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, Silver Dave. I like Silver Dave.
I do
He's
too.
a scream.
I think so too. I like him as well. Have you talked with him? And you had him on your show as well.
Yeah, and um, I love the man very much. So um, I think he's gotten so big so fast that he wants to only be on with channels that are big.
Yeah.
And I'm still growing, but I'm not there. Which, by the way, I'm glad I mentioned that because I'm 1,760 ish uh, subscribers and would love to get to 2,000. So I'm willing to do gauze at 2,000. Um, and have a nice 2,000 GAW party, for which I'll be certainly willing to give away some silver.
Oh,
That whole
gold.
thing. Next, gold. I want to see me hitting over 5,000 before I start to consider parting with that. You know,
Okay.
unless it's a gold back, which I really love.
Yep.
I just absolutely love these things. Um, I don't mind giving away some gold backs at 2,000, but that is, yeah. Silver Dave is growing too, which is unusual for rural New Hampshire. Uh, that's true, but he's got such a incredible personality. He's full of high energy, and people love that stuff.
Yeah, and
So
he's ex-military and he understands some bigger picture things too, which helps him a lot in coming at things from that mentality. As far as understanding some of the bigger picture.
now I'm not sure if I'm going to be allowed to do that. Okay, that 3D works. I would suggest you get on the wife's channel, Dog World and You, and leave that comment for her and see what she says. Don't try to compete with dealers. That they have a wider audience and can use leverage we don't have. What do you mean? We're going to send Guido over there. We're going to give him an offer he cannot refuse. Now, I'm not trying to compete with Silver Dave. I just I want to get to end game. For me, end game is I don't have to work as much as a doctor. I am helping out our community. I'm helping the young people or the new people grow in their stacking to prepare for the future. Um, I'm helping my grandsons whenever they start getting a chance to learn from me, whenever that's going to be. Those are my main goals. The ability to do it more, plus be at home with the wife, is an additional benefit. But that wasn't the original reason for me starting the channel. Honestly, I was approached by a lot of big names, uh, Yankee, Silver Dragons, Stormy, a couple others, saying you need to do your own channel. So I ended up doing it, and one of the big reasons was I wanted to teach my wife how to do her channel and get her channel to grow. Um, but the wife, the grandchildren, and then becoming a bigger part of the community made this channel what it is. But I would like it if you all, for both Long Live Coins and myself, give us a thumbs up, not only on this live stream, but every other one he and I have and Frosty has. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. And when you hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification that will lock you in, because YouTube will take you out sometime later thinking you're a bot. So just a little food for thought. But no, honestly, that's why I got into the channel. I just love how you do that. You're panning across your table.
Yeah.
I get the feeling what you're on right now is not StreamYard.
Well,
I'm kind
no,
of guessing that might be OBS.
it's OBS, yes, but and it's also through it's Camera Hub through OBS. So that's what it actually is. A Camera Hub is actually quite handy if you have an iPhone. I'm not sure if it works for other phones, but on an iPhone you get the app Camera Hub, and then like this, right over here is my camera, my phone.
Okay.
And so that's where that picture is coming from, my phone. But then you can get the Camera Hub app on your computer, and so I can zoom in from my laptop and I can pan over from my laptop without touching my phone, and that makes it real handy. And like right with what I'm doing right now, I have A, B, C, D, so I can just hit B, or hold on, I'm downloading, so this will be C. So now when I hit B, it just pans back over to where I just was, and then if I want to go back, I just hit C, it goes back to that place that you saved. So that makes it quite handy as opposed to trying to fiddle around with your phone.
Yeah, I'm learning to get away with the fiddling.
Yeah.
I just made a video not long ago at the pawn shop after I was taught how to get a separate mic to work through my phone. DJI, I believe, is the name of the mic, and I had an iPhone 11, I believe. It wouldn't work it. I don't know why, but it wouldn't. So I bought an iPhone 15, and that system worked it pretty well. So I'm pretty tickled with that. And big shout out to Frosty, who showed me that it was easy as pie, and I didn't have to be frightened of my iPhone. But he walked me through it, and it just synced in. I didn't have to do anything, and it started acting right. And I used it in a video that I'm going to be editing, which I think you guys are really going to like that pawn shop. Oh, I have two of them. I have two of those, the dragon staff.
So yeah, and I love the way this one's toning up. I'm trying to get it to show on camera. It won't very well, but there is some beautiful purples in that what appears to be hair flying off of the dragon there. That's really pretty. I don't know if you can quite see the purples. You can't really see it very well through the camera, but it is some nice toning that's happening on this piece.
Good, Pete. Okay. Never mind. I misunderstood what Pete and Frosty were saying. But no, it is pretty. I have two of them, but I kept them each in their own individual plastic test tubes.
Yep.
I was afraid they'd bent or something.
Yeah, and I bought two as well, and I left one in the packaging, and yeah, it didn't tone at all, but I took this one out just to let it tone, and boy, did it turn out pretty. So, but yeah, it's kind of hit or miss on that. You want to be careful doing that.
Oh yeah, it's not fun. And once I have something encapsulated, unless I have a good reason, I never take it out.
Yeah.
I'm just unless it's going in a tube where it's going to be with its sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
So that's to be with its sisters and brothers, like this local silver mint.
Yep.
35 of the 1/10 ounce rounds, or 50 of I think it's a 50. It holds 50 coins of dimes. So once they're in their container, they don't come out unless there's a good reason.
Yeah. Yep.
So I bring up that osmium, dude. One of the I think maybe I'm going to have to make a plan with either you or uh, Ian to buy one more piece of osmium to match the wife's earrings.
Well, for sure, for sure. And you need, I got a new, so I'm kind of excited. I got a new line. They gave me a line to kind of go along with what I'm doing, and it's a hexagon to go along with my beehive and honeycomb theme. And a hexagon is also the most efficient way to stack weight that there is, and that's one of the reasons the bees make their honeycomb in a hexagon shape, is so all that weight doesn't collapse the honeycomb. But in that hexagon shape, it holds its shape and holds that weight. And come to find out that nature knows what it's
Because
doing.
what?
When you stack those hexagons like that, it's just the most
Uh-huh.
efficient way to stack weight without imploding. So, but yeah, so I have this new hexagon line, and it allows you to come into the crystalline osmium at a base rate price, kind of a bullion rate price with no cut fee. So I'm really excited about that. It's a way to get about your maximum amount of weight without any extra fees. So
Yeah, that would work. I actually enjoyed that as an idea. You
me
know,
too.
I personally don't. I can't see osmium being in the same ballpark as silver and gold. Um, I see it mainly as a way for us to have something that is pretty. It's going to get more notoriety, especially with the wealthy who can afford to buy it at higher rates when there's no more available. But
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I would love to have a lot of that too. But I mainly focus on the silver, especially with the gold prices getting higher and higher.
I know. Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, my
Sean,
recommendation for most people
you cut out there, Tiger. Your
um,
recommendation
I
for most.
big circles on my screen. Are you all hearing me?
You're cutting in and out, but you were saying your big concern was, and then you cut out.
My big concern is if you have to liquidate your is to go ahead and liquidate the silver because of the price suppression. When you start earning money back, you have a better chance of buying it back at which the prices at which you sold, or at least close to it. I don't see that happening with gold. Honestly, the more we push towards cryptocurrencies, the more I think that the gold and silver prices will go up. And it's one of the reasons why I am not a huge fan of selling your gold. Did you
For sure.
disappear? There you go. You're back. You're like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Can I be
Yeah,
Wendy?
I wanted to answer Sean here. He was talking to me in the comments, and yeah, I know Sean that we had talked about that the SP, and here's your B. So yeah, but no, we can get you in a full order for that. This particular piece, just to give you an idea, at the New Orleans conference about a year ago or so, is where I got it, and it was about $200. So that's a rough idea for you. It'd be a bit more expensive today because it's went up a bit, but yeah, just reach out to me and we'll figure out what exactly you're looking for, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I need to contact Ian for the wife's necklace piece, or you, or it doesn't really matter. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the little tiger's room.
Okay.
Don't get old, dude. It sucks.
All right. Yeah, I'll stop aging it right now. In and out when Trump loses the gold will go down. Yeah, I think we can expect gold and silver to kind of pretty much go one way. Yes, they're going to be volatile and come down for a few days, but they're going to recover and go right back up. The steady incline, the bull market is going to remain intact for many more years to come as long as this paper fiat game continues, unless it completely and they print way too much, kind of like they're talking about doing, and it completely collapses, at which point there will be a new system. But other than that, if it continues down this same trail, you can just keep that same trajectory pretty much planned out, in my opinion, because they're going to keep printing. They just came out and said they're planning on spending another 30 trillion like in a few years, which will double our debt. That's like double your inflation right there, and probably more so because there's already some in the line. So it's getting crazy bad in that realm, if you ask me. Yeah, I agree, Sean. All up and to the right over time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so, and that's the sad state that we're in, is the fiat that's been the global reserve currency is, I think, also going to lose even its reserve status across the world. And I think it's gonna be hard for the US because that's what's been keeping us, living high on the hawk, as I was told as a youngster, as a phrase of reference. We've just been sending paper. We've been sending paper overseas, and we're getting actual product back. We're getting, goods and services, cars, food, whatever. But that's actual things for paper, you know. So I don't know.
Well, honestly, not only that, but when I was watching a good bit of Frosty's videos, he's talked about counterfeiters in foreign countries counterfeiting our dollars, which is adding to the devalue of the dollar, in addition to us opening up the printing press.
Yeah.
So we need to be really careful of that. And they're getting really good. According to the video I saw with Frosty, even the experts had to study the fake bills for extended period of time because they've gotten so good at making counterfeits. And I'm assuming it's easier to counterfeit paper than it is to counterfeit metal.
Well, yes, for sure. But also, too, I've heard that they mainly say that they really study the real dollar in order to recognize the fakes.
Wow.
So they say that instead of studying the fakes, like, yeah, you have to know, what you're looking for out there and whatnot, but they really, really just know the true dollar like the back of their hand. And honestly, if you think about it, it's kind of the same for us in the metals world. Like we were just talking about earlier, Tiger, is getting to know and understand your metal. and that's kind of the key. You need to know the real thing in order to find the fake.
True. And for the people who are established, you'll pretty much say the same things happen to you all. But for the newbies, all I can tell you is the more you handle it, the more you look into it, the more you try to follow things through, the more likely you're going to be able to see the fake versus the real. And also, as soon as you touch it, you're going to get so used to what it feels like that anything that doesn't feel like that, your bells and whistles go off immediately.
Yep. And then you can run it through these list of tests that we went over at the beginning of the stream, and you'll know exactly where you're at.
There is one other test that we've not mentioned, but it's something that I've mentioned, Frosty's mentioned, and we both mentioned also when we do our collaborative videos, the stack collector, is that if you can't figure out if something's real or not, make sure that you, as a strict stacker, either learn some numismatic that is a numismatist and has the ability to help you determine it. And in Frosty's case, he's really awesome at what he does. And if he thinks he doesn't know, he's not going to lie to you. He'll probably refer you to someone that is even more of a numismatist to verify by sight and look and where the planchets were made into coins. It's just amazing to watch these guys. And I watch them as much as I can. I'm not really much of a morning person, but I try to wake up for Frosty's morning Saturday and Sunday show, where he and Paula, and I think the other person's name is Eric, they start talking about the ins and outs of these coins. And to be honest with you, I'm not really into the numismatic about it, but I pay attention because it might help me from making a mega purchase on a fake. So just a little food for thought.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to buy something ancient, go see this guy.
Yeah, and I was just gonna mention on that, because in ancients, that's kind of the big thing is the fakes, and that's why it's so good the way I do my business, and I like to buy and sell ancient coins, and so I give a lifetime guarantee on anything I sell that it's real. And if you were to find out from someone legit, a grading company or what, can't just be whoever. It needs to be proven by legit people that it's not real. Then you get, all of your money back. And that's something to really watch out for. And that's why I go through Harlan J. Burke in Chicago and his son Aaron. They're ancient coin experts. They're dealing in them. They've been dealing in them. They're kind of known worldwide for knowing what the real ancients should look like and what fakes look like, and they give a lifetime money back guarantee as well. And so that's really key, and what you want to look for is those people who are willing to give that lifetime money back guarantee, because then you've lost your fear of buying into a fake coin. And so especially on like really expensive or important coins, like Tiger was saying, might stop me from making a big mistake on a big purchase coin that I might think is fake. Well, you want to be really careful, and you want to go through someone reputable, and they should be definitely willing to take that back. In that case.
So like for instance, with the 3 10-ounce bars that I bought from you, when I find the lead bars in the middle, you'll take them back?
No, not from you, Tiger. Of course, of course.
Oh, that's a scream. I was so tickled no one wanted those three. I jumped on that. That's one of my very favorite things to get is 10-ounce bars.
That was a good deal. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it wasn't a bad deal. I did get a Provident Metal bar a lot cheaper when you sold me yours, but it was a special deal that Provident Metal has for a one-time deal per person at a 10-ounce bar that says Provident on it for a spot. You might want to check into that and replenish your supply.
Yep. Yeah. 3D Woodworks was saying that he bought a fake on eBay, or did he say eBay? Let's see. Yep, off eBay, and he actually sent it to me, and I'm holding it right here. This was a fake that they were calling a silver coin, and it's not even really silver. It's mostly brass. I guess they said it was like 30% silver, something when he questioned him on it, because he got it and he's like, "This does not look real," and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's not," you know. And he's like, "Why are you trying to sell it as silver?" And he's like, "Well, they're like 30% silver." And it's like, "Oh, what a shyster!" So,
Oh shit!
yeah, you just got to be careful about them. Careful about those types of places. So,
Caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware.
yeah.
Hey, Yaksnav, welcome.
Hey, Yoxnab, good to see you.
No, you got to be willing to watch and try to make sure you understand what you're getting into. You know. Oh, cool. I just got to 25 likes. That's really awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate that. I'll tell you what, if I get to 50 likes tonight, I'll put up an ounce of silver to spin away. If we don't, that's fine. By the way, next month for my members, I'm going to have my 3-month party where the level ones, I'm going to give away an ounce of silver to whoever wins. And with the second level, 2 ounces of silver. So that's coming up next month. I wanted the members to not forget to be there. They don't have to be there, but I kind of like them to be there because they're pretty cool people.
Cool.
Have you made monetization yet?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think I'm like on the edge of it right now, though. I think so, because I think I'm pretty much getting to my, what it says you need to have to become monetized. I'm like right there, so I think it should be soon, hopefully.
It will be. You'll need 3,000 view hours and 500 subscribers minimum.
Okay, well, I've got the subscribers, and I don't know. I'll go see what I got for hours.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more videos out, more live streams. Metal Matt, member for 13 months.
Awesome.
And I know you'll be there. Metal Matt, he's been with me. I think he said he was my 100th subscriber. It was about plus or minus 2 Christmases ago. And he got on Yankee's phone and he called me out and teased Yankee about him having his rigged wheel. And he said that he was, been following me for a while. He's been a very good channel member, channel subscriber, and I'm if the wheel lets him win, I'm going to be really tickled. Actually, I'll be a tickled for any of my members who get a chance to win. I do want to show you something since we're talking about Yankee and his rigged wheel.
Cool.
So let me bring up my screen here.
Yeah, I'm at 2705, so 2,705 viewing hours. So, yep.
Congratulations! It won't be long now.
Yeah.
Here, so let me. Oh, I gotta get this out of here.
If we would have went live on my channel, I'd probably be getting there, but we went on yours, so.
Rub it in. Rub it in. All right, get it in there hard.
I'm trying.
In there. Well, I'll do a live with you too. I just haven't done anything.
No, I'm totally joking. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, let's do one on mine too, for sure.
So, this showed up yesterday on Yankees Silver. Actually, it was on Silver Dragons, but they were doing Silver Pros, and someone named themselves Yankees Rigged Wheel. That is not me, but that was such a scream. And the dude has, at the time, he had 5 subscribers. Oh, he's got 7 subscribers now, one of which is me. He's like, I don't like that name. Whoever this dude is, I was so tickled that he made that. It was funny as can be. Just a little food for a thought here.
Food for laughter.
I said, no way people need to know you're a scammer. I don't follow where that's coming from, but okay.
Oh, he's talking about those fakes you got off eBay, and yeah, that's too bad. And in fact, I had a new channel, B Taylor, come on to my last auction and talk with me, and he's a fairly new stacker, and he already got hit from his local coin store with a fake bar.
Wow.
And he got home and was looking at it, and he got a little bit nervous about it. And someone reached out to him and said they know that bar and that it is fake. And so I was telling him, man, I'm so sorry that, like he's just getting into it and he already got hit by a fake bar from his local coin dealer.
Wow.
And, he's happy about it now because he's learned about it and he actually took a magnet to it and it just snapped right to the magnet. So
yeah. My very first fake I got at the pawn shops. I was buying silver Eisenhowers, 40%ers, because I want to have a guardhouse box full, and I got a little less than 50% of that project done. I like the silver Ikes, but I tend to buy the more traditional stuff. I also like the war nickels, the 35%ers. And I'm not even halfway done with the guard box on that because I want to stack things I can have as a faster offload if it needs to be. But when I bought a bunch of those silver Ikes, I took them home. It was before I had my Sigma Metalytics. And you can't use a Sigma on a 40%er. That software don't exist.
Okay.
So I took my neodymium magnet and just waved it over top the silver ice and clank. One was on it immediately, and it did look like the funkiest one out of them.
Huh.
Yeah. So Chavella took it back and said, "I'll take it back. I'll give you another Ike." I said, "Can I keep the fake?" She kind of looked at me. Says, "Yeah." I want to have my own stack of fakes, so that way I can teach people. And she trusted me enough that I won't return it to the wild. It's in a capsule. The capsule says fake on both sides. What was from Morocco? The person you bought the fakes from, 3D?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn Moroccans. But no, no, Sean, it won't read 60%. If you want to get really weird things verified, I would suggest. Let me bring my phone over here so I can show it to you. I would suggest. Hold on, gotta get the screen up. I would suggest using an, your phone. Now, this one is the older app. This one's the newer app. I haven't used this one yet, but you can use that with a ping tester and it will verify things that your Sigma Metalytics won't verify. Yeah, the XRF will give you the percentages, and to buy an XRF gun, just the gun, I'm told for a decent one is somewhere in the neighborhood of $14,000. Something that you really want to try to, if you have the money, it will pay for itself over time. Are you pinging again?
I am playing.
Playing with your silver.
Yeah.
There's worse things to do in this world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are my pocket pieces that I carry around with me and clink them together and get to know your silver. There you go. I got one of those somewhere. In fact, I got a little different model right here. And this one that's just the Popeye, if you hold this one under the black light, in the background, there's some type of little emblems all over it. So I don't know what's going on there, but there's like extra markings under a black light on this one.
Okay. Wonder if it's the same thing would be in this one here.
No, it's not. I checked because I have them, and that one doesn't have it. And in fact, they're made in different countries, even though they're the same series of coin. Like what country is that one you're holding? Turn it over and show. I bet it's different. Mine's from
this one's from Samoa.
Yeah, see, this one's from Fiji, 2024. Even though it's part of that same Popeye series.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep in mind that I got this from a shady character.
Oh, okay.
You see who I bought it from?
Yeah, I noticed.
You know that person?
Yeah, I'm that's what I figured once I hear you started talking smack. I figured it must be toward that.
Now, would I ever talk smack? Really?
Never know.
What's a ladder challenge, Sean's Precious Metals? I've never heard of a ladder challenge. So I'm interested to see what he has to say about that. I still want to get out to there. Help Long Live get his monetization. Baby monetization is like really cool because you can, take super chats. You can start your memberships. Cool. That type of thing, and then when you get to full monetization, you get some reimbursement from the people who sponsor your videos. So, and it's not a lot, but it does help offset the price of improving the channel.
Yeah, I bet.
At our level, we're not making a lot of money.
Right.
But I bought this better camera from the money I made from YouTube.
Cool.
It was pretty awesome. It's nice to not have to pay everything out of pocket all the time. My CapCut, which I use for editing, is paid for with what the money I made off of YouTube.
Cool.
So it does help decrease. Now, once I get to maybe Yankees level, better money will come in. And how do I say this? The money's not the only thing that's important. teaching everyone, teaching our community, especially the newbies, is way more important.
Yes.
But it's nice because Yankee, he's doing so well with YouTube that he quit his job. And he gets to make videos and hang out with Tim and hang out with his wife and his kids.
Right.
I'd like to get to 50% of that.
Yeah.
So that way I can do way more videos. Um, I have to pretty much let Shavella know that I'm interested in helping her business grow, uh, and hopefully she'll let me get more videos from there because the woman is highly intelligent,
Cool.
uh, but she gets a little skittish as soon as I turn on the camera. So you know. I've even asked to volunteer and just help her there if I can get her to work with me to get videos.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Yeah. So welcome in Marsh. Good to see you.
hi, Ann Marsh. Welcome.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on one second. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. I was waiting for you to talk.
Okay. Just typing something in here. So yeah, what's in your is that silver? What kind of dimes you got there? Oh, you do have Silver Dave's set of dimes
I
there, but
do.
you got does he?
These, this is a total roll of hold on, a roll of Roosevelt's.
Okay.
I don't mix and match my tubes. Once they start with Roosies, they end with Roosies, and if they start with Mercs, they end with Mercs. Little OCD goes a long way. And
Yeah.
these ones are the Silver Dave ones, where they're stamped only on one side. Let me see here. Let me find the one that
Does he call those dimes or what's he call those?
he he calls them 1/10 ounce rounds. Uh, he's he's a firm believer in fractional silver for bartering. And when he and Yankee went to uh, a festival, um, Yankee went in with silver dimes,
Yeah, I've
and,
seen that. Yeah.
and Silver Dave. Let me get this thing out of here so you can see it.
Went in with his rounds.
Yeah, he went in with his rounds, and I kind of like them. Actually, to be honest with you, I prefer Silver Dave's 1/10 ounce rounds
Yeah.
versus his 1/10 ounce bars. Um, these are way easier to stack. It's in a dime tube. He has 35 1/10 ounce rounds in a dime tube, which is not a bad collection. So, and then of course, put a little extra cushion in there to get it to protect it.
Yeah.
So, 35 dimes versus 35 1/10 ounce rounds versus 50 dimes. And I actually did the math on that. Basically, they're almost the exact same weight when you put the two of them back to each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Metal Mat, Pork Fest. Oh, it's next month? Yeah, I'll probably be working. Oh, wow.
So we went for another spin. Tiger's trying to come up with
Yeah,
his own spinning bin
thank
over
you.
here. Are you
Yeah,
spinning?
yeah, I'm spinning, dude. I don't have a bin up. But, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Cheers.
Let me get my drink. Hold on.
Yeah, I should have my LLC cup here. Where am I? Oh, there we go.
Now tell me who this is.
Put it back. I missed it. Put it back up there. Oh, some kind of energy drink there.
It's an energy drink, but that's not what I'm trying to get across.
Uh-oh.
Who is this? I slurp in your honor.
Sal?
Do you know how hard it is to slurp and not suck it into your lungs?
Right?
Hi, Muscle Shell. Welcome.
Hey, Muscle Shell.
You know, slurping out of an energy drink can that's maybe 1/4 left full. It tries to go into your lungs when you do that. How he does that and it's not coughing. I really like the guy a lot.
He's good at doing constant videos and getting them out there, man. I gotta hand it to him.
Yeah, he told me he doesn't do hardly any editing. He just makes it, puts a thumbnail on it, puts the tags on it, and lets it fly.
Yeah.
I try to make things so that my stuttering isn't in there, and that I change from one scene to another. And sometimes I have to ask my brother-in-law to not put so much stuff into it. He just to give you an example, my Memorial Day, I made 2 of them. One strictly from me, and one from one I did from YouTube Shorts. Now, YouTube Shorts, they have their own library, and they won't fine you or punish you if you use soundtracks from their library. And I found the soundtrack of Ronald Reagan giving his what people think was his best Memorial Day speech, and I didn't speak at all. I just let it be President Reagan. But I didn't know that you could go past 60 seconds, and I don't know how he did it because I recorded for 60 seconds, and somehow it became 1 minute and 30 seconds. And it got blocked, it got unmonetized, it got all this other nastiness. Like, why did you do that? Well, he told me that YouTube allowed shorts to go up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, they do now. Yep.
Well, if that's the case, why did I get punished for 1 minute 37 seconds?
Because you can't do music over 1 minute for some reason. I don't know why, but they let you do now. If you do it in under a minute, like 59 seconds, you can connect a song to it. But if you're like a second over, they won't let you. In fact, I set it at 60 seconds and it won't do it with the song. I have to put it at 59 seconds.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know what's up, but
yeah, but that was the second attempt. His first attempt, I'm like, you wouldn't believe this, and I love my brother-in-law. And I'm really not complaining, but the truth is the truth. He set that up, and I had to go to YouTube class because it was highly restricted, and I didn't know he even did it, let alone he put it in the YouTube world in unlisted. And it was the Ronald Reagan speech, but all the soldiers were Asian, and I'm not sure if that was from the Korean War, the Vietnamese War, but none of them were Americans, and a lot of the soldiers were children. So I didn't get a strike from it. I had to promise that won't happen again. Then I had to take a class on videos and protecting children, and had to have a sit down talk with my brother-in-law. Where in the world do you get and for an American holiday of Memorial Day for American soldiers, sailors who have passed away protecting America's country. Where do you get the idea to put Asians on there, Asian soldiers with Asian children? Where did you get this idea? Well, of course, I didn't get an answer. Uh, it's like, it needs to be about this country and only this country and no children. So, then I got the 1 minute 37 seconds punishment. So it's like, it didn't. I hear you, Metal Matt, and I didn't realize it. And by the way, it was mostly just a soundbite of Reagan, but and I don't even know how because when I did it through my iPhone, the soundbite was 1 minute of Reagan. How it became 1 minute and 37 seconds, I have no earthly idea. And he'll say things like YouTube is stupid or whatever he says. I'm like, yeah, but they have the power.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make them mad. 3D Woodworks. It was rigged. That's a scream. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. So anyway, let's see here. It's not giving me an answer.
Oh, can I put something? Can I share my screen and talk about something right quick about my channel? Kind of my channel.
Please do.
Not necessarily my channel, but so I think you have to grab it on your screen. I put it up as a share screen, so it should be at the bottom.
Further down. Okay. Got it. Stop screen.
There you go.
Put on yours.
Yep. And then take my double click on my comment there, so that goes there. You go. So we have in this next about week now, on June 10th through the 14th here in Denver, Colorado, we're gonna have the first ever USA symposium on osmium, and so the osmium team from Germany is going to be flying in, and we're going to be, renting a place out for the week and doing a deep dive on crystalline osmium. So if anybody is interested or would like to check it out, definitely reach out to me at longlivedcoins@gmail.com. Just my business name @gmail.com. And yeah, we'll figure out what you're looking for, and if you want to come take a look or join in on the fun, we'd love to have you. So
there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah, it'd be really cool for you to
you can drop it now. Thank you.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
Cool.
That was so funny. Thank you, 3D. Now, I would be totally happy to go to Colorado and hang out with you guys.
Yeah, you should come, Tiger. Come on over. Hang out.
What day in June? And I'm willing to bet that I'm working.
It's the 10th through the 14th.
Let me go get my date book. I don't think I'm free. I'm almost positive. Okay. Yep, I'm working. I have to work because the owner of this emergency room company is losing his contract with this hospital. So I got to get as much work in as possible, let alone scramble to find another job. So
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, it's understandable. But yeah, if anybody's interested, just send me an email, and love to chat with you about it, and love for you to show up too. So let me
Yeah.
know.
So, if those of you who haven't subscribed to Long Live, please do. You'll get a lot of fun out of it. Yeah, and he does do a good bit of fun things. The spin and bin I always get a charge out of. But
Yeah.
do you realize that you got an intruder in your house playing with your records?
I'll find him out one of these days. He keeps sneaking in and out on me, so
Yeah, dude. He always wears that hat so no one can see what he looks like. For all I know, he might be a girl.
here we go.
Uh, if that intruder's a girl and your wife finds out, dude, you're in serious trouble.
No doubt.
And my wife's like your wife from Eastern Europe. They'll join forces against us, and we won't stand
Sure.
a chance.
For sure.
Oh, which by the way, just before we went live, Long Lived was on there. We were prepping the channel, and like clockwork, wifey calls in. Yeah, keeping me on a short leash. She calls in. You haven't called me. Why didn't you call me? And I'm like, I'm setting up for a live stream. Really? You're supposed to be working. I'm on my off time, and I actually feel good because all last week I was just sleepy, and that's all I wanted. That's it. So say hello to Long Live Coins, and then she chilled up because I had a witness.
That's funny.
I love that girl. She is such a scream.
That's awesome, man.
Well, we're 29 likes. I don't think we're going to get to 50. Uh,
Yeah, I probably got to get going here fairly soon too, because
we've been at it for about 2 hours and 11 minutes. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to let you go hang out with the kids.
yeah.
How many you got? 3?
Dos.
Okay, 2 boys.
2 boys. They're growing fast. My goodness, it just happened so fast.
I bet. I
Great.
absolutely bet. Well, by the way, I have a new outro. It's the same video, but it's a newer song. And my brother-in-law seems to like it better than the first one. It's sounds kind of Irish. So just if you all will stay, the 3 minutes it is for the outro, because just let me know in the comments section if you like it or not. Okay, and if you'll be so kind as to hit the like for this live stream and leave a comment and all that, help me build the channel, build the algorithm. I would be so very grateful. 3D Woodworks, 5 days of super shiny. Yeah, it sounds like he's going to be going there.
I hope so. Yeah, let me know. That'd be great to have you.
Yeah, I'd love to go, but I need to make money. If I don't mind going if I am not working though. Besides, it's been, oh my God, I think I was 27 when I was last in Colorado.
Really?
It was winter time. I was learning how to ski. I completely freaked out on my first time coming down from fear of heights. Ski patrol had to get me down.
Wow, really?
Oh, I was so embarrassed. I was teased by all my friends. I'm like, I'll never let that happen again.
No, that's too bad. Yeah,
So
when you
I
walk up from heights, like my brother had fear of heights a little bit, and that's like I feel for you, because getting up on top of a mountain is like, I can imagine that being a scary feeling and just wanting to be to the bottom.
yeah. Well, worst thing in the world is for me to get teased. Actually, might be the best thing in the world for me to get teased because I made sure that I was never going to let that happen to me ever again. I was getting down to the bottom all the way if I had to break every bone in my body. So,
Yeah.
oh, you are there? Okay, good.
Nope. Yep.
So let's go ahead and end this and let everybody. Please watch the outro. Let me know what you think. As compared to the one that was before. Same video, different music. So good night, everyone.
All right. Yep. Thanks. That was a good show. Hopefully we can do it again.
I hope so too. Here we go.
Come and join the stream. Gold and silver lovers chasing precious dreams. Collectors, stackers, gather round. History in your hand. Old and timeless treasures from every distant land. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Coins and relics, tales untold, whispers from the past. Legends live in ancient gold, memories that last. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and golden nights, a never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Coins and relics, tales untold, whispers from the past. Legends live in ancient gold, memories that last. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Coins and relics, tales untold, whispers from the past. Legends live in ancient gold, memories that last. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Through the ages we unite, shining side by side. Silver gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. A never-ending pride. We are many, we are strong. In this journey we belong. From the past the stories shine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Gold and silver, yours and mine. Through the gleams and gold ignites, a never-ending pride. The suckers calling, come and be a part. Feel the fire, hear the spark, treasure in your heart.